Hey guys, it's Chandler Vince at weldermade.com. Thank you so much for being here for another month. We are doing our videos just a little differently now. I'm trying to get you guys some clearer audio and give me more time to describe what I'm doing. So I am doing the audio after I do the video so I can just explain what I'm doing. Let me know what you guys think. I'm trying to get a better quality and have more time to explain things while I'm under the hood. So let's get started. First, we're going to look at the bottom right hand corner of your blueprint. Just look at that part number. Make sure we're on the same project, that you had the same project in the box that you should have had, and we'll go from there. So let's identify the parts, figure out which ones go where. We'll start with part number 1. Part number 1 is the base plate. Looks like it's a 7 by 8 inch rectangle with round corners on all 4 sides. That's part number 1. Part number 2 is the second biggest rectangle. Part number 3 is the long skinny rectangle without the logo that has round corners on 2 sides. And part number 4 is the small rectangle. And then part number 5 is the long rectangle with the logo in it. And part 6 is this little skinny skewed triangle. And then the next part is these 2 rectangles. That's part 7. There's 2 of them. So these parts don't need a whole lot of cleaning. I'm just going to wipe off the soapstone I put on there and start laying stuff out. Alright guys, I'm starting with part number 2. I'm measuring 3.875 from the edge, and then I am locating that part number 3 and part number 4 on there. That's what we're laying out here. I'm marking the centers, and that's that. So now we're going to the gussets on the back side. That's the 2 number 7s. That's 1.5 inches from each side. And then marking the center on part number 5. And that is all good to go there. Now to the base plate. Alright guys, the main thing on laying out that base plate is that part number 4 is a 1/2 inch from the edge. I located about 1/2 inch from the edge and then tack on part number 2 behind it, making sure that it is flush on the outside corners of the base plate, part number 1. I like to tack on the very outside of the joints, that way it doesn't affect my weld area. Now I'm tacking on part number 4. And then part number 3 on top of it. The more you guys lay out these parts with the dimensions on the blueprint, the easier it is to line up these parts. Okay, for the gussets on the outside, they're 1.5 inches from the edge. I like to put a tack on the top of the gusset, and then I can center it up and square it from there, and then I put a tack on the bottom. So part number 6 is that little stiffener piece on the back for that angled plate number 5. Make sure it's on their center and get that skewed fillet joint tacked up nice and clean. Now I am getting all the spatter off, brushing, and we're ready to weld. I'm going to start with that horizontal weld. You guys can weld these steel projects with anything. I'm not going super in depth with the welding process right now because I know you guys are all probably using different welding processes. Today I'm using solid wire MIG, just regular CV MIG. That's the easiest for me to make the videos. In the future we will do several different processes. So I do my top 2 horizontal weld joints first, and then from there I do the vertical welds on parts number 7, the gussets. a nice little weave on both sides. You can do, I didn't weld both sides of the gussets just for the timing of the video. There's a lot of welds I didn't weld on this project, but I encourage you guys to weld every inch of weld practice on these projects when you get them. Let me know what all welding processes you guys are using, and we'll see what's the most common, and we'll start going from there. So I switched my machine over to Pulse MIG for the base. Got it in there nice burning hot. I'm focusing on keeping a 1/4 inch weld bead all the way around, wrapping my corners nice. I'm focusing on weld size and making sure I'm not getting any weld discontinuities like porosity, undercut, stuff like that. Focus on your spatter levels. Make sure your spatter's all off the project, and just try to be consistent. And if there's something you know you're struggling with, make sure you purposely do that now when we're practicing. When it's hard, I know it's hard to keep that base plate number 1 flat on the table. You really want to weld those welds downhill or flat, but I encourage you guys to keep base plate number 1 on the table and make yourself weld them in the vertical position with the uphill progression. It's good to find the weak points right now when we're training and practicing, and we'll attack those areas and improve your ability to weld those hard welds. And that's what this is all about. I want you guys to learn every bit you can from these videos. These videos, I'm just wanting you guys I'm making sure you guys are getting these projects tacked up and can understand the blueprints and getting the basic knowledge of the welding. We will be doing Chalk Talk videos. I know I've told you guys that in the past. I'm so sorry that you don't have any yet. Weldermade.com has been growing quickly, and we've been doing every second we can and doing everything we can just to keep up with orders right now. So I apologize. It looks like in the next 1 to 2 weeks I'll have some help, and I will get some Chalk Talk videos out there to you guys, and we'll start going over these different areas in more depth and go over techniques and weld settings and stuff like that. So be patient, it's coming. And I really appreciate you guys being here. I'm enjoying doing this with you guys. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to see. Feel free to hit me up on social media, on the website, or here on YouTube. Let me know what kind of problems you're having. Let me know what I can do better, and we will both improve through this process. So I'm excited. This project turned out pretty sweet. I love it. There's a lot of hard welds. There's a lot of weld inches. Make sure you guys get every bit of practice you can out of these things. So thank you for coming. We'll see you guys next month. Talk to you later.